Welcome, traders. So I'm going to be covering a few pairs that I'm watching for the week, and then I'm let Ryan hop on. He's going to give his analysis for his projected pairs as well. All right. So starting with GBP USD, we've been catching this pair all the way down. You see, we've clearly been in this downtrend right here, and all the way from this peak high here to this swing lower high. Then that's when price gave us that big impulse to the downside, and then now price came right back, pulling back up deeper to give us another bearish wave from this interjection there. So looking at this right here, price came up and retested this structure, previous structure low before price broke through and gave us that impulsive drop there. So it pulled up here. Once price retested structure, we got pin bar right here. Got a pin bar signifying price losing steam. And then we got this bearish engulfing right here. We got the bearish engulfing. And then from there we had the big impulsive drop. All right. So overall, we still could potentially see a deeper pullback on GBP USD. I mean, like maybe one more drop. But looking at this, price extended past this previous resistance right here. Right? Always look left to go right. So price came up. And then what you see here is that price actually, after giving us this impulse drop here, it pulled back and retested that resistance. On that retest, it printed this bearish shooting star here on the daily. So if you're looking to catch the bigger moves, the bigger swing moves, the daily and the 4 hour is going to be like your best friends when it comes to getting a stronger directional bias when you're trading price action. So seeing this shooting star gave me more indication that price is looking to roll over, and that's what we did. So if we come down to the smaller time frame, like the 4 hour, all right, you see, so you can clearly see structure, all right, lower lows and lower highs. All right, also had this trend line right here. Ascending trend line. All right. So this was the impulse. This was the impulsive leg that GU gave us, and then it pulled back to retest that resistance. This is the 4 hour view, and then it printed this bearish engulfing. So on the bearish engulfing, we got that extension down. So now, then price came up and basically retested the breakout of this trend line. All right, we had the breakout. That was our breakout. And this was our retest. So we got, this was the lower high it created, lower low, created another lower low, pulled up on the retest, giving us a lower high, and then now we gave another lower low. All right, so looking at structure, we still could potentially see a deeper move down on GU. All right, so looking at this now, price just broke support, giving us a lower low. All right, so I would look for some type of retest in this area where it's at now, really. All right, I would look for a retest in this structure area. Also could take my, right? So we could potentially see something like this on this retest. You know, this is normally when you see a clear direction, price is showing you a clear direction is heading in, you look for those retest structure levels. So we could see something like this and price roll over. I would like to see price hold below that lower high right there. All right, on the retest. All right, so that's GU, right? So when price starts to find resistance, I would say look to take another wave down, taking this bearish flag to the downside. Similar to this, a similar move to that it gave right there. We could see same type of move to the downside. All right, so that's GU, still bearish. Now, but the bullish bias, if price comes up and impulsively close up here, and then retest and find support, then it could go higher. But as of right now, it's still moving corrective. All right. So UCAD overall, we see UCAD is still bounced from this strong price, came down here, found support on this previous resistance level, and gave us a pump. Right. Strong bullish engulfing right there. So seeing this, I've been eyeing this. At the price gave us this double bottom. You see, we printed this double bottom right here. Gave us the impulse of the double bottom. Normally, I like to see a retest of the neckline right here, which it did, and give us another pump. All right. So overall, I'm still bullish on UCAD. Right. So we could potentially see a correction around here. Either I would say, look, any corrections, any pullbacks or drops could potentially just be a pullback to go higher. Right. Something like that, or maybe even come back and retest this structure and then bounce. But overall, I would say look for sales on the corrections on USD CAD. Or if price breaks above this resistance, something like that, and comes back and retests, you can look to take it higher from there. All right. So that's UCAD, still bullish bias. Euro USD, we was able to catch EU from these highs. Right, price started rejecting from this same rejection or supply level, had a strong rejection down, right, on the weekly. So if we go down to the daily, you see we got the impulse. Price on the daily right here gave us that bearish engulfing. It gave us this bearish engulfing and then gave us the impulsive drop, right? So seeing what price is currently at, price can correct from where it's at now. Because if you look at this point right here, right? So really, I would say let EU correct itself. If price holds at this resistance, or even if it don't make it there, I'm still looking for more sales back down, right? I'm just looking for expecting EU to correct a bit, right? And possibly back up to this resistance. But of course, we really need to see once price breaks through here, breaks back below this strong level of resistance or supply, you look to sell the pullbacks down lower. All right, and this could be a nice drop to the downside. That's EU. GBP JPY. GJ was similar. GJ was pretty similar to GU. We had a strong move down from, previous support, this structure point, right? Strong move down. So this could potentially be getting ready for an up move, but I need to see more where it's at currently because you see, if you just look at structure here on the daily, this is the low impulse correction for the lower high, and then it pumped again. So now price is pulling down. This could possibly be a lower high. Possibly be a higher low forming. But we also could possibly get another move down. But of course, in order for us to get another bearish wave down, we need to see this support here broken, right? And then we could potentially get another pump down. This will be my next point of structure to pay attention to around 130, right? Or at this support level. All right, so looking at the bias here, like on the 4-hour, same thing. You see price gave us this impulsive drop here, pull back here on the retest of structure, and they gave us another drop to create a lower low. All right, so it's clearly that this was the high, this was the lower high, this was a lower low, lower low. But also, price came back. Once you have a clear direction, you look for the retest for structure points. It came back and retested this support, and then gave us a move down, right? So really, we could see a deeper move down, but really, I would say let it correct itself because right now it's looking like it's want to correct. You can even take this descending trend line here as well. Because overall, I'm still bearish on this until it gives me another reason. You know what I mean? So really on these pullbacks, I'm looking for potential sales, maybe somewhere in here and then roll over. Like I would like to see price hold below this level right here. I would like to see price hold below here. But even if price comes up there and retests that structure, if it holds and finds resistance, you still can potentially get another potential move to the downside. All right. But to be safe, if you want to wait, either wait for a deeper correction or wait for price to break this support. Right, like this. And then come back and retest and then look to take it down there. But now if price breaks through here on the double bottom and just breaks through this resistance and then comes down to find support, then it's probably going to go higher. All right. So that's GJ. All right, two more pairs. Let me look at Euro JPY. All right, I already have this pretty much marked up, but looking at this, actually, I'll just go fresh for you real quick. All right. All right, so price, looking at EJ, price came to this structure point and had a strong rejection. Previous support over there. All right. Came to the support, had this strong move down, right? But that was after this impulse correction, right? So now we potentially get another pump for the third wave up. Price also came around this psychological level around 120, where my cursor's at, like around here. Right, 120 is like a psychological level. If you go down to the daily, you see right here, price printed this bullish engulfing right here. And then it started correcting the rest of the week, right? And now you see it's moving up. This bullish engulfing on the daily is an indication that buyers are potentially coming in. All right. So also what gave me more of a bullish bias on this, I went over this with my students on the Sunday session. So you see you could take a counter trend line right here. All right. Then you got the breakout. So on this breakout, I'd like to see a pullback or retest. So this was the retest opportunity for the buy. And now price is moving up for the buy. You also could have been looking to buy this counter trend, right? So now we got the move up. So this is something I would look for because it pulled down, created this higher low, and now it's giving you an extension to the upside. So really, price can either give us a pullback right here. So on any pullback here, I would look for a continuation. Look for continuation buys to the upside. Or you could wait for price to break this resistance. It's at this resistance. It's not really breaking it. It hasn't really broken yet. It spiked past it, but it had to confirm the broke. All right, so if it does break, then you can look for something like this. For it to break above it, look for some type of pullback, and then look to take it higher. All right, either that, or just wait for it to pull back, and on the pullbacks, look for potentiation buys to the upside. All right. Now, last pair I'm gonna cover, then I'm gonna pass over to Ryan. It's AU, all USD. All right. Overall, AU's been in this supply zone up here from this level, right here. And then it came up there again. And the bigger the move from a level like this, the greater the chance of the price in the future having a similar type of rejection with this big supply. So that's a big footprint right there, right? So price came up there and it started rejecting, gave us this spike through it in a bearish engulfing. All right, and since then it's been ranging right here. So we're in this range. All right, so price is really just setting up for his next move. Because after this impulse from the double top, price just been ranging right here. So now I would say look for something like this for price to maybe pull back and retest up here. If it starts to find resistance, then look to take it back down. All right, either that or wait for price to come down and break this support because it needs to break the support to confirm that it's going lower, and then look to sell the pullbacks. All right, for continuation. But overall, I'm still bearish on all USD. All right, so that's the pairs I'm covering for this week. I hope that helps. I'm gonna pass it off to Ryan, and he'll give you his analysis that he sees as well. All right, see you all next week.
Okay, that was real insightful analysis by Brandon. So now I'm going to go ahead and get started on the pairs that I'm looking at for the week. So the first pair that I'm looking at is the DXY, the overall US dollar index. And looking at it, as you can see clearly, we've been in an uptrend. So price started from around 96 support, pushed up, made highs, came back down, made that higher low, and now it's pushed up and it's failed to make a higher high. But I'm expecting this to overall make a new higher high and potentially reach 98 resistance. All right, so let's see. So with this, you can draw a fib from the low to the high, like this. 0 to 100 to 0. Price pushes down 61.8. Also gives a second trend line hit, and then the market pushes up. And now we're currently under that 0%. So if anything, we possibly could see a slight pullback back down towards 97 support-ish before we get another attempt to the upside. And I expect price to breach above 98 resistance level for the overall dollar index as long as we can stay within this structure. This is what I'll be expecting. And going down to the 4 hour, just so you can see it a little bit clearer, we have this support right here also. So yeah, this support could get broken, and overall I would like for that 97 to 96.80 support, but looking at the structure right here, price pushed down and then immediately gave us a bullish engulfing, so we may get a slight pullback back down to like the 50 EMA before seeing another attempt at upside. But now if we clearly show strong bearish momentum down and breaks through 97.50, 97.30, then overall we'll be pushing back down towards 97 support and possibly back down for a third trend line hit. All right, NZD USD. So after price broke out of the trend line, it moved bullish, and then we've seen that slight decline to end last week. And now currently we're in consolidation where the market is just moving sideways right here. So we really would just be waiting for a breakout, but because of the current pressure in the market coming from these highs and clearly breaking the 50 back below the 50 EMA, coming back down to this key support level, I would favor the bearish sentiment just because of that current structure. So if anything, we might see a slight pullback back up towards this 50 EMA around 0.6450, or this 38.2, back up to these highs where this resistance is at. If we break above that level, then we will see that breakout retest, and then we'll be headed towards the 61.8 if we were to get that. But overall, because of the structure, the market is looking more so bearish. So if anything, the market may just push up one more attempt, and then we might start seeing something like this, and then eventually come back down and breach that 0.64 and eventually that the 0.6370, 0.6350 region. So yeah, unless the market breaks out to the upside, I'm going to be overall bearish. But with this, because we're in consolidation, it would be better if you just waited for the clear breakout, get in on that retest, and then take it whatever way the momentum is actually going. So if it breaks out to the upside on that retest, you would look to take it long. If it breaks out to the downside on that retest, you would look to take it short. USD Chef. So currently price pushed down and found support at 0.64. We could draw a slight trend line where price made lows at. You can clearly see that with this trend line, the market came down, hit, rejected, pushed up, came down again, rejected, gave us a bullish hammer. So now, if anything, it's just going to be a slight pullback before I can see this pushing up towards 96 resistance level. So looking at it on a 4-hour, because the market pushed up here and found resistance, if you just draw that out, and we had that breakout, so on that retest, this is the area that I would like for the market to pull back to before continuing to the upside. And I would like for 0.96 to eventually get hit if we do get this structure where the market is making a clear higher low because of this bullish engulfing. This bullish engulfing took out all this price action over to the left. So now if we do get this pull back down, see that continuation. But keep in mind that the market may not have enough bearish momentum to push back down this low. So because of this overall bullish engulfing. So overall, I'm looking, like more importantly, I'm just looking for the market because it already broke out. I'm just looking for that pullback before going higher. And that also aligns with the overall dollar index strength if we get that. And then also looking at this on the daily time frame, you can see that these highs right here aligns with this previous support here, this previous support here, and also it made key structure here where the market needed to break out of. So because of that, I would like for, if we do start to see the market look to make that retracement, this would be a good area, and that also aligns with the 50 EMA region. So that 0.96 is where I would like for you shift to come if we do start to see that retracement to the upside. GBP CAD. So yeah, I was sending this out last week. Pretty much rolled it up, caught the buys, and then caught the sells to the downside. And early this week, the market continued to drop with this move right here. So now with this continuation drop, the market pushed down and fell at that support. Let me redraw that out like that. Let me just get that. Okay, yeah, so it fell down to the support level. So if anything, the market is still bearish, but we might see that pull back up towards 1.685 to 1.69 level. So that also aligns with the 50 EMA too. All right, so 0.685, I will look for it to come here first because we have this resistance. We have resistance here, so that would be the first level. If we start to see the market slow down and start to get bearish reversals here, I'll look for the sales back down to the downside there. If we break through this level with a clear bullish momentum, then overall we'll look for the market to come up to this next level, which would be right around here. Oops. And if the market rejects from this level and overall stays below this previous wick right here in this lower high, then we could look for the market to push down to the downside. And then if it did push up to this level around the 50 EMA and drop, the market would need to break back below this support now. If we broke back below that support, if we could get that retest, and then we'll look for that continuation drop. But overall, I'm bearish. I'm just looking for the market to push up towards 1.685 to 1.69, and then I'm looking for it to drop. And overall, if you drew a fib on this pair, let me just delete that real quick. So if you draw a fib from this high right here down to this low, you can see that the market pushed up, hit the 61.8, and now it's at these lows. Well, I don't think it's going to reject. If it does reject, it's just a slight rejection. I don't think it's going to reject and pull bullish. I think it's just it'll reject up to potentially continue that overall bearish momentum. And I can see this coming back down towards 1.67 to 1.66 support level. So if anything, a slight push up and then overall come back down. Negative 24 aligns with 1.665. So overall, I could see the market coming anywhere between 1.67 and 1.66 support level on GBP So I'm really going to be watching this pair this week and looking for those entries at those levels, and then I'm looking to swing it down towards the negative 24. All right, Euro odd. So Euro odd. You could possibly draw this trend line, connect it to that point, and extend out to the future. So with that, you had a second hit here and a third hit here. The market ended up pushing up towards 1.64 to 1.645, failed to break above the supply zone, and then started to reject back down. So now I'm going to be watching if the market is trying to go higher or if it's trying to break back below this overall trend line. If it broke back below this trend line, then it will be coming back down to this demand zone. A break below this demand zone would overall send the market bearish. So right now, because we have this strong support all here around here, the market pushed up, broke above this high right here. So now on this pullback, and as long as we stay above this trend line, then I can see the market possibly pushing up higher. But eventually, it would need to break and close above this overall supply zone like that, and then we can start to see the market push up higher. But if we don't get anything like that, then we will look for the market to push down, break back below the trend line, come down to the supply zone. We might get that retest like this, and then the continuation back down towards 1.62. So either one of those scenarios is what I'm going to be watching. I just need to see how the market reacts around the trend line and around the demand zone. If the market pushes down to the trend line and shows that it's not trying to break and starts to show bullish reversals, then I look to ride it back up to 1.64. Then the market would need to break above 1.64, pull back down, hold above that, and then if it were to do that, you can look for the market to push up towards the previous supply zone around 1.655, 1.66 resistance. So regardless, once you get that clear, confirmed breakout retest from the upside or downside, you're going to see within 100 to 200 pip move regardless. If it breaks out to the downside on that retest, it'll potentially pull back down to 1.62, if not lower. If it pushes up, it breaks above 1.64 and retest, it'll potentially push up towards 1.655 to 1.66 resistance. So it's still Monday, so it's still early in the week. You kind of need to let the market do what it needs to do and let price come to you. You don't want to force the trade. So just wait for the market to show those that clear structure of the breakout, and then just look to get in on the breakout retest. All right, so the last pair I'm going to look at is GBP Chef. On the daily, so this has been pretty bearish. Horizontal line. We have a previous support here. This would be support for now. All right, so right now it's looking like the market's going to pull up. It would need to break above 1.175 because this is previous support. I'm looking for that to be a breakout retest. It's either going to push down and continue the bear trend, or we're going to see the market push up higher for that correction. So if it breaks above 1.175, then I will look for the market to push up another 100 to 150 pips towards 1.185 to 1.19 resistance level. But now if we push up in a market, even if it pushes above 1.17, but overall it fails to break back above these highs right here, then on that continuation back down to the downside, the market could fall back down towards 1.16, if not lower. Go to the forward. Let me see if there's a fib. So you could possibly draw a fib from this high to this low. And then that 61.8 aligns with that 1.176 level. So, and then the 50 EMA aligns with the 72 percent, which is around 1.178, just shy of 1.18. So those will be the levels I'll be looking for if we get that pullback. If the market clearly breaks above those levels, then we may start to see the trend shift. But as of now, because the structure, the overall trend is bearish, we're just looking for the market to correct itself and then show us a favorable entry for us to get in on the actual sell so we can benefit on the actual trend. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much the pairs that I'll be watching for this week. If I see anything else, I'll send it out in VIP group. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next week.